إن الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أما بعد. My brothers and sisters, indeed I enjoin upon you and upon myself the fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. In today's sermon we will be reminding ourselves of one of the hadith of the noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadith transmitted by Imam al-Bukhari and Imam Muslim. In that hadith, on the authority of Abdullah bin Mas'ud, it has been reported that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that khayrun nasi qarni thumma alladhina yalunahum thumma alladhina yalunahum. In this noble hadith, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying that the best of the generation is his own generation, or the best of the people, khayrun nas, the best of the people are those within his own generation, and then those that follow and those that follow. One thing we're always reminded of is that ultimately the messengers of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, what they come to do, or what they came to do, was to make us better people. That is to make us, good character-wise. Like in the hadith, the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying that innama bu'ithtu, he said, certainly I have been sent li'utammima makarim al-akhlaq, to fulfill noble character. What makes you as a human being better than animals is your character. Not just because you can breathe, animals also can breathe. Not because you can eat, animal also can eat. Not because you give back to children, animal also give back to children. And there are so many things you do, animals also do those things. But in terms of behavior, you are higher in terms of standard compared to that of the animals. So even among the people, the best of them are those who are what? Best in character. So even if you have character, so someone whose character is better than your own, the person is better than you. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam made it categorically clear in a hadith that akmalul mu'minina imana. He said the one who have better faith among the believers, he said who? Ahsanuhum khuluqa, the one that is best in character. When we look at the Prophet ﷺ, one of the things Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala praised him with this one, his character. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said in the verse of the Quran that وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You stand on the best and most noble character. And when we look at the generation of every messenger, of every prophet of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, you will discover that they are always at the highest level. Because they are the standard. They are the role model. Like, you can't pick someone below your own standard as your role model. That is degradation. That means you are going down. That is, if your role model becomes someone lower than you yourself in standard, that means you are what? Spoiling, let me put it in a bit plain way. But rather, the one with higher quality or higher standard is the one who's supposed to serve as role model to someone below his own standard. It's just like if you have your company, a company that in terms of standard is more recognized than your own, you will discover that you will be struggling to be like that one. Not the other one that is higher than your own, struggling to be like your own. Because to be like your own, there is no need to struggle. That is somebody better than you. He doesn't need to struggle to be like you. That is, you don't need to struggle to be a bad person. It's easy to be a bad person. Yes, it's easy to be a bad person. So my brothers and sisters, indeed, coupled with the weather, maybe the sermon is likely going to be what? A bit summarized beyond what we expected to actually talk on this, topic or this hadith. But in summary, like I said, because of the weather, because it's almost raining now, what we want to draw from this hadith is this. There are things that we don't need to maintain the level we are or go below the level we are now. If we want to save ourselves, if we want to be better people, then we need to reflect back. We need to begin to look at how the older generation, most especially in terms of character, if any youth now thinks that he is more intelligent or he is more exposed than the older youth, he's deceiving himself. The older youth are better than you. The older youth are more intelligent than you. The older youth are more organized than you. Same thing applicable to the older ones in this period. If they want to also become better elders, then they also need to reflect back at older elders. How were they? I was giving some of my brothers some example while we were in the office. Look at even in terms of our environment, in terms of our plan, the town planning. In the past, you can easily distinguish industrial area from a residential area. But today, even the grave, you cannot differentiate grave from residential area today, because some people have gone as far as what? Building their houses inside grave. So in terms of organization, you see that the older generation are more organized than us. Yes, in terms of technological advancement, there are things that we produce now which they don't produce, or they may even produce it in their own way. There are structures built by older generation that some of us go to check or to visit for tourism that you can't explain how they made those things. Then that means even they, maybe some things you produce now that they don't have that time is because maybe they don't feel they need it that time. It's not because they cannot produce it. Because your own knowledge of today, you are building it upon their own. They've solved some of your problem for you, and that's why you can go ahead. It's just like you, somebody wanting to construct a road from here to Computer Village. If somebody constructs, from here to Police College, so if you come and complete from Police College to Computer Village, you cannot say you've worked more than that person. You only build upon that person's work. So even in terms of technology, we are building upon what the older generation built. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala guide us. عباد الله أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب وخطيئة فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. My brothers and sisters in faith, let us look up to our older ones, our parents, our elders, to copy some of the good things they had in their own time. And we shouldn't think that, like I said, morally that remains permanent till the end of the world. We can never be better than them in terms of moral standards, because they were people, most especially you as a Muslim, you believe that they were people guided by Allah. Because as a Muslim, your character is supposed to reflect the Quran. If you want to know how decent your character is, your yardstick is not even any human being. Your yardstick is what? The Quran. Sayyidina Aisha radiallahu anha was asked one day by the companions that كيف كان خلق الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم, that what is the character of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? She said to them, what? كان خلقه القرآن. She said to them, his character is what? It's the Quran. So whether as a politician, whether as a civil servant, as a businessman, whatever, in whatever field you find yourself, try to see how your lifestyle, how your character will reflect the Quran. May Allah Ta'ala make us people who will live the life of Quran. Today everybody is complaining. We are talking of insecurity. If you check, the older generation have more security than us. They move freer than us. In the olden days you travel, you don't have much fear. Yes, things happen here and there, but not as rampant as today. Why? Because they were people who, to some extent, lived their lives thinking about Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, save us from the situation we are in. Our leaders, the political state we are in, we pray Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, anyone that will come in, that will solve the problem of the country, may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala choose the person for us. And like I do say to brothers and sisters, we don't need to become enemies for political reasons. All of us are Muslims, all of us are Nigerians, and the goal of everyone should be having a better society, having a better community. And then each one will struggle to do that within his own area. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala make it easy for us. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم يسر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم الجليل يذكركم واشكروه على آلائه ونعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تنفقون.